Good morning, Seamills Primary School Year 5. I hope you're all well. This is our first video lesson, so bear with me because this is new for me, so it's new for you as well. So I'm just going to spend today just having a quick look at some questions for ordering and comparing decimals, and then there'll be some questions for you to do on the website later. Okay. So I trust everyone's keeping themselves busy and being as lovely as ever at home. So, there we go. So today's WALT is to read, write, order and compare numbers with up to 3 decimal places. So you've done some decimals last week, so I just wanted to make sure that we understood what we're coming from. If you haven't done last week's work, it might be worthwhile just going back. There's some videos on there as well, not starring me, but with other teachers, and they'll give you some tips on how to do this. To help you, I've included on the website the decimal place value chart, this one that you can see here in front of you. So you can print that out and keep it with you if it helps you. So remembering that a decimal place value chart goes from, we're not really going to go at this end to millions, hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands, but we might do thousands, hundreds, tens and ones, which you're used to seeing. And then in year 4, you would have done tenths, and possibly some of you would have done hundredths. So these are numbers that are getting smaller. So as you go this direction to the right, you're going smaller. If you're going in this direction to the left, your numbers are getting bigger. So we have tenths, hundredths, thousands, tenths of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and millions. But year 5, we're only going to be looking at tenths, hundreds, and thousandths today. Okay, let's move on. Right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to see if we can put these decimals in descending order. So there's lots of ways that we can see decimals and we can convert them. So in this first one, we can see 5 different ways of having decimals. We're going to have to convert them, change them into decimals. So I'm going to just let you spend a few seconds. So if you put yours on pause by pausing the video and then see if you can work out which ones are which. Then I'm going to come back in a moment and we'll go through them together. Okay. So in no particular order, I'm going to go through each of these to see if we can work out what the numbers are. So over here, this top one, we have got this block of thousands of, there's 1,000 little tiny blocks in there. If we put 1,000 tiny blocks together, we end up with 1. So that is 1. If that is 1, and there are 10 by 10s, these must be tenths. These here must be hundreds. These tiny little ones are 1,000ths. So that's 1 whole one, 3 tenths, 2 hundredths, and 5 thousandths. Okay. Over here we've got 1, and then 1, 2, 3 tenths, 1 200ths, and 1 1,000th. Here we can see 1.405 kilometers, and over here, what have we got here? We've got a fraction, and some of you remember what that is called. That is, tell the person next to you, what sort of fraction is that? That's right, it's an improper fraction. And over here we've got a visual of 1 ones, 1 2 3 4 tenths, and 1 2 3 hundredths. So let's just see if we can work it out, or if we got it correctly. So I'm going to just go through. So that is 1.432, because that's 1 whole one, because that's 1,000 thousandths. 1.43, 1.405, 1.325. I think that's probably the hardest one, just because you have to understand that that block is one whole one. And then that one is 1.321. So one whole one, 3/10, 2/100, and 1,000th. So that's the sort of mathematical language that we need to be using. Okay, let's move on. So we've got some signs here which are less than, greater than, or equals to. So remember, that's the mathematical language that we need to be using. And I'd like you to work out what symbol goes in there. So I'm going to put it on pause for a moment. You can put it on pause as well now and see if you can work out what the answer is. Right, let's see how we got on today with this one. So as before, we've got these two blocks here, which are whole ones, aren't they? Whole ones there. So that's 1 and 2. And we've got no tenths and 1/1000th. So that would make that, I can now turn it onto just my pointer option. It's going to get pointer option. I'm going to go for a pen. So that would be 2. We've got no tenths. We've got 3/100, and we've got 1 little thousand. Over here we've got 2. We can see this 0.3, and then a no hundredths, and we've got 1,000. So which is the bigger one? Okay, let's work that out in a minute. And here underneath we have got 0.364 and 304 over 1,000. So which of those are the bigger, and which is these? Let's see how we got on. Let me just put mine back to my pointer. And so let's have a look over here. 2.031, 2.31. Yes, there we go. So 2.031 is less than 2.301. Okay, so we can see when we compare it, 2 is the same, and then the next digit, which is how we're going to measure which is the larger. This has got 0, this has got 3, so this must be the bigger one. The next one's 0.364 is greater than 0.304, and 3.2 is greater than 3.123. Well done. Okay, so there's lots of ways that we can use visual representation to show what a digital number looks like. So we could use this way. And there's going to be a couple of questions like this maybe in your work later. So we can see that is 1 whole one, ones, 1/10, 9/100, 9,000ths. If we added 1 more thousandth to that, we would have 1.2. What do we have here? Could you quickly work out, put me on pause, and tell me what number do you think goes on the right-hand side? So if you got 2.423, you were correct. So it's 1, 2 whole ones, 1, 2, 3, 4 tenths, 1 200ths, and 1, 2, 3 thousandths. And this visual representation for 2.424 there we go. So we could actually even put it on a number line. Okay, again, some visual representations. Could you work out, put me on pause in a moment, and work out what numbers you think go on the right-hand side? Good, okay, let's see how we got on. So this top one again, we've got one whole one, two whole ones. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 tenths, 1 200ths, and 5 1,000ths. And that should give us 2.425. So that's two whole ones, 4 tenths, 200ths, and 5 1,000ths. Have to keep your teeth in for this. It's getting difficult for me to say it. Okay, and the one below, I think this one's a little bit more straightforward. So we got two whole ones, 4 tenths, 2 100ths, and 6 thousandths. That then goes to 2.426, just putting them all together, adding them up. Right, here's one which is slightly a deeper problem for us. Sharon says 1.295 is greater than 1.35 because it has more digits. Okay. Sharon is incorrect. Could you explain why Sharon is incorrect? Have a little think, tell the person next to you, and then I'm going to come back and I'll see what your answer is. Okay, let's see how we got on. So Sharon says 1.295 is greater than 1.35 because it has more digits. Well, hopefully most of you would have seen that when we're comparing numbers, we have to see where the difference is. So 1 and 1 is the same. And then we've got 3 tenths here and 2 tenths there. So 3 tenths is bigger than 2 tenths, is greater than 2 tenths. So we have to make sure that we recognize that 1.35 is the bigger. So let me see what the answer was here. So Sharon is not thinking about the value of the digits. 1.35 has 3 tenths, while 1.295 only has 2 tenths. Therefore, 1.35 is greater than 1.295. Okay, well done if you managed to get that one right. They are getting trickier. Now, the final slide, when I'm going to be disappearing shortly, is one where there are multiple answers. Okay, so we've got some numbers up here. They can only be used one. There's 5 here, and there are 5 spaces, so 1 goes in each space. How many different ways, I think there's 5 possible solutions, can you put these in here so that 2 point something something 5 is less than 2 point something something something? So I'm going to leave you with that one, and hopefully you'll be able to figure it out. If you get stuck, drop a Padlet to me and I'll see what I can do. But that is it for today, and I'm going to be reappearing with something for your maths lesson, another maths lesson this week, and something to help you with your writing as well. So thanks for listening. Hope you're all well. Be nice to everybody at home, and I'll see you soon. Bye.